It's looking like another wet day in NTE. Welcome back once again. Yep, I know I just updated my Fadia build yesterday, but I was able to get a really cracked console cartridge last night. So I'm gonna share with you guys the new version of the build because I was right all along. Quiet Manor is absolutely powerful. As you saw in the intro, it's gone ballistic. I will show you guys a side-by-side comparison of the Psychic cartridge. I think it's called Devil something versus Quiet Manor, and you will see that Quiet Manor ain't so quiet after all. So here we go. Alright, to set it up perfectly, I need to remind you guys that this is the lineup. Sakiri, of course, for the team buff. And, just team buff and Source of Scorch. Daffodil's there for this, to connect all the espers, as well as to activate Nova for Fadia and Discord for herself. Discord Nova is absolutely amazingly powerful, as you saw on the intro. So you start off with Sakiri, buff with her ult, swap to Daffodil to get Scorch activated. Always go Scorch first and then Nova. Once you get Daffodil's Esper cycle to proc, swap to Fadia. Bang, you got yourself really strong damage incoming with Nova Discord. Swap to your Lakshana and then put Stain so that Fadia's ultimate will just deal more insane damage. But this time you got to do like 3 basic attacks before you hit your ultimate. Okay? So that's the changes in the combo. The gear changes, however, is quite significant. If you're, again, I will show you guys my Sakiri setup so that you can just copy this again. Her console is, of course, the Speedy Hedgehog. Because of the team buff, all allies attack by 15% for 20 seconds after the wearer casts an ultimate. Effect does not stack. Meaning, like, if you have 2 Speedy Hedgehogs, only one will activate. And it's only going to be 15%. But it stacks on top of her ultimate, as well as her arc, which gives, again, more attack to your team. Very good buffer. Get her, she is important. Right? So that's my build on Sakiri. Daffodil doesn't really matter what you put on her. Hathor doesn't really matter. What matters is Fadia. Her arc is, of course, Eternal Waltz. Max HP 20%. Mental damage dealt by 10% after you ult. Important. Alright. Next up is the console change. And as you can see here, I got an absolutely... It's not the craziest, what do you call this? Cartridge? But it is pretty damn nice that I got mental damage on top. I got HP on the bottom, 1000 HP, and HP percentage on the last tier. So this is actually very perfect for the way this build kind of works. The reason why is, well, cycle intensity is good so that your cycle when you swap and deal Stain or Nova or whatever, the damage is higher. So cycle intensity is actually pretty good. Break intensity is also really good because by the time you're about to swap to Fadia, she will most likely be the one to break the shield off the boss, dealing massive damage as well. Mental damage, really important. The Epic 2 set is mental 10%. So this alone is already 47.5% mental damage. And if you activate the 3 bonus attacks at the end, that's another additional 36. So that's already 100. Boy, I hate math. It's not 100. Yeah, I think it's about 100. It's 100, a little bit over 100, right? So together, that's a lot of mental damage boosting. Alright, so that is massive. I also did change, I'll be honest, I did change one. Crap, how do I do this? I changed one because, of course, you have to swap to this. I used to have two pieces here that were not good. But I found that I had a pretty decent 4-piece vertical module. It had break intensity, which is good for, it partners well with my cartridge. HP, it has attack and crit damage. And if we take a look at our overall stats, it looks a little like this. HP is 25,000, attack is 1,000. Crit rate is only 9%, which does feel a little low. 47% crit damage is not bad. Universal damage bonus, there's none. Alright, so overall, it is pretty decent with the HP. And as you guys already know, I have one awakening on my Fadia, and you have to get Cursor of Blessing because it just gives you 30% more max HP. So when I am in battle, this 25% is nowhere near, it's like 33, 34 per thousand, right? So yeah, Quiet Manor is absolutely really important because it doesn't just affect the ult damage, it also affects the Nova damage, which is big. The Nova damage, they were not kidding when they said massive. If you take a look at formation and you go over here, Nova damage on a target after triggering as per cycle, when the effect ends, they take massive mental damage. If you have the Nova enchantment on Fadia, it drains max HP from the target when Nova ends. The target loses max HP equal to 200% of Fadia's base max HP. And each ally gains max HP equal to 10% of Fadia's base max HP. Total drain cannot exceed 50% of Fadia's base max HP. Restores both parties' stats upon exiting combat. So the reason why you want Cursor of Blessing if you have it is because it affects your, if you see it right here, base max HP. That's why my Nova deals so much damage. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope it helped you out, and if it did, leave a like, leave a sub as well for more NTE content, and I'll see you all on the next video. Peace out.